guys, welcome back to another colorful keto with Dory. My third device was wonky, so we don't get any music today. We're just gonna have to get that in line later for recipes. So this afternoon we are getting together with the amazing, the talented, the life-changing Carrie Brown, and we're gonna talk to you guys about something extra special, a one-day only deal that you can get for the holidays. So, Miss Jess, I see that you are here, my darling. It's so nice to see you. So, we're just waiting for Miss Brown, waiting for Carrie to pop up. I'm going to quick run into Facebook and get this shared into groups so that everybody can be watching it live with us, because we only get 24 hours with this deal. So, I want to make sure that nobody misses out on this one. So let me quick pop over to my public page and I'm going to share it over, and Carrie will be with us in a moment. I'm excited to hear what's up at her house as well. What's new and exciting with Miss Carrie Brown. And for some reason, again, my phone won't load. So we'll get it over to them as soon as we can. Happy Friday, darlings. I hope that we're strong heading into the holiday season. I was chatting with Wendy, Keto Warrior Wendy, about that today. And I realized we're only 5 days. We're 5 days from Halloween. And Halloween kicks off our holiday season, right? 5 days there's Halloween, then next month there's Thanksgiving in the States, then it's Christmas, then it's New Year's, then it's Thanksgiving, then we get, after New Year's we have Valentine's Day, and then Easter, and we've rolled now all the way to March. So we were talking about getting on track, getting focused, and getting prepared for the coming holiday season. Because you know what? A lot of us, we're either just starting or a lot of people are struggling. So at this point, this is the great time to stock up. Miss Brown, Miss Carrie. Do we have sound?
I hope so.
Yes, we do.
Do we have sound?
We do. So just as you joined, I was telling people that I don't know. For me, I think the holiday seasons are a great time to get prepared, to get our recipes in line, to already decide what we're going to do for the holidays. Because we're 5 days till Halloween, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas, and then it's New Year's, and it's Valentine's Day. So how do we stop from falling into the holiday trap that, let's be honest, we don't climb out of until March when it's all done?
I have to say, I nearly offended you. I was just about to say, you Americans and all your holidays, and then I'm like, wait.
No, she's not American. Well, and that's it though. But how many of us use that as an excuse, Carrie? You know what? Oh, well, it's the holiday. It's a special occasion. You know, I'll be fine. I'm going to just eat regular today, and tomorrow I'm going to keto again. And some people can.
You know, I think it's more social pressure and not wanting to disappoint people. I don't think generally people are lying to themselves. I don't think most people are trying to looking for any excuse for a cheat day. I think the social pressure is enormous, and you know, as loving human beings with families and friends who are around us at these special times, we don't want to disappoint them. We don't want them to feel like their food's not good enough, or that maybe we're not enjoying ourselves, or so I think it's more the social pressure and the thought that we don't want to make the people we love sad.
Well, because they loved us and they made it for us, and then when they bring it, they say things like, but I made it special just for you. I make it for you every year. You couldn't just have one bite just for me?
And I think it's important to realise that they're not trying to sabotage you. They're coming from a good place. But I don't think anyone that is keto and is living keto, you know, all the time, I don't think most keto people are actually like, oh, when's my next cheat? When's my next? Oh, there's a holiday. I can cheat. Because those people are not the people that are going to stick with it anyway, right?
Yes.
I mean, they're going to fall off the wagon every other day. So
Yes.
I think it's more the social pressure and the fact that we don't want to disappoint people that we care about. You know, food is such a huge social thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, whenever there's a good gathering, whenever there's any kind of celebration, you know, even a wake, you know, when you're celebrating someone's life, there's food. It's just part of the human culture that you sit down to eat together. And you know, there are people out there that say that, you know, food is just fuel and it's not social and it shouldn't be social. But
They're not my people.
That's kind of crazy because it's completely social. It's, you know, as I say, even when we bury our loved ones, we sit down to eat together. You know, we break bread together. So I think, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it's wonderful. We just have to figure out how we're going to navigate the holidays and stay keto. So how do we get the best of both worlds? How do we keep eating the food that keeps us healthy? And how do we make that food delicious? Because eating non-delicious food is no kind of fun at all. And we also, if we're doing the cooking, we want our friends and family to be thrilled and to enjoy it and to have food that they love. So, but we also, we want to support them. You know, they want us to be happy. We don't want to disappoint them. How can you do all of that at the same time? You know, how can you get through the holidays, stay keto, stay healthy, stay the same weight, or maybe even lose some, and not alienate any of your friends and family? In fact, the best thing would be to get through the holidays having shown friends and family that keto is better than what they're eating currently, not just from a health standpoint, but also from a taste standpoint. So that would be like the ultimate win, would be not only do we all thrive through the holidays, but we actually show some of the people we care about that keto is not what they thought, and keto is delicious, and there's a ton of variety, and you don't actually need to give up any of your favorite things in order to stay healthy. So that for me is the big win. It's not just about thriving instead of surviving the holidays. It's also it's a prime time for being a fantastic example and showing the people that you care about how easy it is to, you know, invite them to get on board the train with us.
And that's really, you know, the ultimate goal at the end of the day is for us all to be healthy and happy, however we see that. None of us wants to be, you know, knocking on our family doors saying, "Oh, have you heard the good word? Have you heard the word of keto? Have you heard how healthy you'll be, darling? I'm sure you want to be healthy." And how much easier is it to show our love the way we have traditionally, right? I'm coming to family dinner, I'm bringing sweet potato pie. But this year, I'm making a keto version of sweet potato pie, and it's made with cauliflower rice and pumpkin instead of sweet potato. And it's got keto marshmallows instead of sugar marshmallows. But I'm still bringing my traditional dish that my family expects of me every year. Auntie Dory makes sweet potato pie it is not Christmas if Auntie Dory didn't make sweet potato pie. So I love that you give us the opportunity to take the standard, you know, the family dishes, what we all love, and we can make it healthy. Because just because traditional sweet potato pie isn't awesome for me personally, I can still have a version of it and still bring that love to my family and share it.
I have to tell you that being British, the first year I moved to America, the first Thanksgiving I had, And this was years before I was low carb, keto, or anything else. Although I've always been on the healthy end of things. I've never really done packet food. I've always made everything from scratch. I've always, used
You're my
ingredients. But I wasn't ever really keto or low carb. So this is way before that. And I was introduced to my first candy jams. That's right, sweet potato, right? The sweet, right? And I saw it in the oven, and I was like, what in the world is that? And then I saw her tip this packet of marshmallows over the top and put it back in the oven, and I was just like, what? I was horrified. I was like, what are you doing? And then it came out the oven, and of course, to be polite, I had a spoonful, and I was just like, I don't believe what I just ate.
It's the weirdest looking thing, and it's so good. Like, the first year I brought it to my family, they went, no, I don't think so. And the whole pan went before dinner was half done. And that's how it became tradition. I just brought it one time 10 years ago.
I admit I'm not a sweet potato / yam girl, but that's not because I didn't grow up with them. They're not a thing in England, so they're just kind of off of my radar. But yeah, I remember thinking, you just poured an entire packet of mini marshmallows over a vegetable, and now you're going to bake it? Like, I'm so confused.
But it tastes so good. And these are the things that bring us joy. You know what? They taste so good. And you know what? I will admit, I was a food packet girl. Before I found ketogenic diet completely by accident, I literally don't think I ever made anything that didn't come out of a can or a box or a packet. Even my homemade tomato sauce was canned tomato sauce, canned tomatoes, and then I would throw in ground beef and some spices because that made it mine, Carrie.
Right. And it does. There's a show, isn't there, in America anyway, that's like semi-homemade or something?
Yes.
Where she uses like some regular ingredients and then a bunch of packets and she combines them. And I kind of feel like that's better than it being totally packets.
Yeah.
There is some real food in there.
I put some bits of real onion in there. Don't judge me.
So anyway, I did just want to, and I realise that this is going to sound just like an ad for my cookbook, but that's not the point of this at all. We do have a special for you at the end, and that is also my fault because it's a special that I ran a few weeks ago. And I don't even remember what broke in my life a few weeks ago, but something broke, and Dory and I were scheduled to do this live, and then something happened, and at the last minute I couldn't do it. And then we tried to schedule it again, and I was actually on the road. I was traveling on business. I was driving to Tampa, or I don't know what I was doing, and then we had to cancel it again, by which time the special had ended, and so I said to Dory, hey, your people didn't get to see the special, and that's not fair. So we're doing the special just today, just for Dory's folks. So if you want to take advantage of that at the end. But the point of going through keto for the holidays, which is my holiday cookbook, is not to try and sell it to you. No. It's simply to give you some ideas, but it's also to show you what's in it, because a lot of people, cookbooks, you might buy them and think, or you might not buy them because you think there's only one thing in there that might work for you. So I just wanted to give you an overview of the cookbook, and Dory has a copy too, so that you can decide for yourself if this is something that will help you or not. And also in my group, in my Facebook group, people, they also forget. They have the book, and then they forget all the cool things that are in it, and then somebody will post and say, I made this, and someone else will go, ooh, where's that recipe? And they'll go, well, it's in the holiday book, and they'll go, really? I have that book. But I missed that recipe. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview for those of you who have it, to remind you of what's in it so you don't forget to make something. And for those of you who don't have it, just to give you some ideas to You may think that this is like your perfect one-stop shop for the holidays, which that was when I wrote it. That was the idea that if you had this one cookbook, that your entire holiday life would be solved. Like you could just pick up one book and know that they all work, and know that you're not going to have a fail, you're not going to waste any money, you're not going to waste any time, all of them are delicious, you're not going to have any fails. So this might be your one-stop shop, but it might not be. But if we don't give you some information about it, then you can't know. So I did send Dory a digital version. Did you get it?
So
open,
excited.
Dory?
I did. I'm so excited to open it up on my iPad where I have this space to look at it. I got the email on my phone and I went, oh, I don't dare open it on my phone.
Can I share
Yes.
our conversation?
Yes.
So,
Please do, because I know I'm not the only one. I don't understand digital books.
It was a really good point. So I said to Dory and I were chatting a little while ago, and I said to Dory, do you have a copy of the holiday book? And she said, I don't have a Kindle. And I said, why do you need a Kindle? And she said, honestly, I don't know how these things work. And so for anyone else who's thinking, I don't have a Kindle, the digital cookbooks are all PDFs, so that means they can be opened on any device known to man, any device. You can also, if you do have a Kindle and that's how you like to read them, once you do, when you've downloaded the PDF to your phone or your Mac or your PC or wherever, you simply email it to your Kindle email address. If you have a Kindle, you have a Kindle email address. So once you've downloaded the PDF, you email it to your Kindle email address, and boom, then it's on your Kindle. But you absolutely don't have to have a Kindle. And the really cool thing about having digital cookbooks in PDF is so you can have it on your phone, and you can go to the store, and you can have like the shopping list. You can see what you need, so you can have your phone, your cookbook in your pocket at the store, and then you can come home and you can pull it up on your tablet and have it on your iPad, cooking in the kitchen, so you can have it in all the places at the same time.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now I feel ridiculous for not knowing, but I just didn't understand. When digital books came out, it was Kindle. Nobody ever said to me anything else, and I was like, oh, well, I don't have one of those. So I just never pay attention to digital books. But that's brilliant. Carrie Brown, that's brilliant.
I just wanted as many people as possible to not be stymied by not having a specific brand of technology. So PDF means that they're accessible to everybody. It also means you can have it on multiple devices. So, I have my cookbooks on my iPhone, and I can have them at the store. If I forget, if I want to make, I don't know, pecan pie, I'm like, I don't remember the ingredients. I can just pull it up on my phone right there in the store. And then when I'm cooking, I'll just pull it up on my iPad in the kitchen and see it from there too. So that the format is PDF. So you can read them anywhere, even if you don't have a Kindle. But you can send it to your Kindle if that's how you like to read them.
A lot of people are going to laugh at me, Carrie, but I think it's worth it, because I have a feeling I might not be the only person who doesn't understand this technology. I don't understand a lot of the technologies.
If you don't, then there's a lot of people that don't, because you're
I'm
more
good at
tech savvy than a lot of people I know. So I hope that's helpful for some people to know that they're PDFs. So the holiday cookbook, it's not just holiday recipes. I also included some breakfast recipes, because I figured a lot of people, for the holidays, they either have a house full of people. So I included a selection of recipes that would be super easy, ones that you can prep the night before or a couple of days before and put in the fridge and then just sling in the oven in the morning. Some cereal, keto cereal that you could make in advance, and it literally takes you 30 seconds to make it up in the morning. So there's 4 different breakfast recipes, and they were designed for feeding a house full of guests. And they're designed to be super fast, super easy, and to not make it so that you've got to get up at the crack of dawn to cook this kind of crazy breakfast for everybody. You can do these all in advance. So there's some breakfasts. Then there's a whole bunch of appetizers, because I've learned, going to food gatherings in America, I've learned that the veggie tray is a thing, and there's a lot worse things that you can do than a veggie tray, but you start munching on carrots and celery, and your carb count is going to climb, is going to start climbing. So there's a bunch. Let me see, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 different appetizer recipes. So there's also included in that, there's 2 keto crackers. There's cheddar chive crackers, and there's almond crunch crackers. And
I love crackers.
And so I like to call them dip transporters.
Oh, yes.
So there are some dips also in the appetizer section. There's a creamy Greek cucumber dip. There's a baked cream spinach dip. There's a smoky bacon and tomato dip, which when I taste tested that, because I had a day job at the time, and when I tasted that at the office, that lasted about 5 seconds, the smoky bacon and tomato dip. There's also some sausage stuffed mushrooms. There's some mini pizza pies. There's some mini cheese and leek quiches. Now, I'm very proud of the mini cheese and leek quiches, because most keto quiches are crustless. These aren't. These actually have a proper crust, so it's a proper quiche in a proper crust, and it's keto. And they went down a storm when I taste tested them. Nobody could believe that there was no flour involved. So I was very proud of my little mini quiches. There's some Parmesan zucchini strips, and there's also some mozzarella, tomato, and basil canapes. So if you're looking for pretty party food, then there's also a bunch of things that will work well for that. Then there's several entrees, because not everybody wants roast turkey, not everybody likes roast turkey. Some people just want to do something different. So I do share how I cook a turkey. I promise you, if you followed my method, it will be the juiciest, tastiest turkey you've ever had. There's also, for those of you who like turkey but don't want to roast a big old bird on the day, I included a recipe for turkey and cranberry meatloaf. So it's all your turkey and cranberry but in a meatloaf form. And that is, and I've eaten that several times, and that is really good hot, but it's also fantastic cold and sliced the next day. So it's brilliant for lunches, because it's very, very sturdy, but it's very, very moist. So you can slice it perfectly and give people a slice cold the next day. Then there's the creamy basil chicken masala. So that does have a little bit of vino in it to notch up the flavour, because it's the holidays. And there's another one with a bit of a booze in it, which is the boozy braised beef short ribs. So if you're looking for something that is not turkey, there's 3 other options. There's a chicken, there's beef, and there's also roasted salmon with avocado salsa.
Oh, dear God.
And that was incredible. Of course, that's incredibly keto, with the salmon with the high omega-3s, and then paired with the avocado salsa. So lots of good stuff in the entrees. And then side dishes, there's a whole bunch of side dishes. Everything from keto cream of mushroom soup. There's a spiced pumpkin soup, which is really, really cool for the holidays. And there's also, I developed what I called the green bean casserole soup. And I don't know, in Canada, do you do the green bean casserole? Okay.
We do.
So that's another weird. When I first came to America, I was like,
green bean casserole.
Like, what is this? And then they told me what it was, and I'm like,
no.
So it's green beans with a can of mushroom soup and a can of onions. Like, I'm so confused. Anyway, but I learned that people loved it. So I turned the green bean casserole into a soup. But of course, it doesn't have all the packet stuff.
That's brilliant.
It has, everything's made from scratch, but it's super fast and it's super simple. But that's how you're going to get your keto green bean casserole this year, is in soup form. And there's a lot of fans of the green bean casserole soup. So, you know, and you don't have to have a lot. You can just have 1 cup on the side and call it good. I've also included sour cream and chive biscuits, which is my number 1 all-time fan favorite biscuit recipe ever. There's more people have made those than anything else I've ever done. And then stuffing, because you'll love your stuffing dressings. So there's 2. There's a creamy sausage pecan stuffing, and there's a wild leek and hazelnut stuffing.
Oh, dear God.
I have it on good authority. I've never eaten stovetop, but I have it on good authority that the creamy sausage pecan stuffing tastes exactly like stovetop. So, and
I've had stovetop. It's my family still eats it, and I'm like, well, I'd rather make my own.
Yeah. So, but also a lot of people who have had the creamy sausage pecan stuffing, what they do is they'll take some the next day and they'll fry an egg and put an egg on top of it and call it breakfast.
Beautiful. So, yes, it's the best. You make it like a little nest. Yes, you make it like a little nest, and then you just pop the egg. It's beautiful. I don't know what they actually call it, but my mother always made it with the leftovers. It was almost as much of a tradition as stuffing at dinner was the next day you had she would call them a stuffing nest, and with the egg in it, and we would have them, and they were famous.
And I have to interrupt you, because I've just noticed that my friend Nazi has just joined, and I had no idea that Nazi even knew you. So that's awesome.
Hello.
The world is shrinking. So hi, Nazi. And I became friends in Seattle when I lived there. But she's now down in the Bay Area, so I haven't seen her for a really long time. But it's really, really cool to see your name pop up there. Hi, darling.
I love when all my friends come. Once I accidentally went live from my personal page instead of my public, and it got a little silly. I was making cookies, we were dancing, and a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time came in. I was like, I went to high school with you.
Two types of stuffing. The creamy sausage pecan stuffing makes fantastic breakfast with an egg, poached egg or a fried egg on top. And then there's some more traditional sides. There's the I can't believe it's not mash. And I'm not going to tell you what's in it, but it is so much like mashed potatoes you won't believe it. And it is absolutely not your typical cauliflower mash.
Nice.
It actually has the texture and taste of potatoes. But it isn't potatoes. So that's the I can't believe it's not mash. And then there's some other sides. There's Brussels sprouts with almonds and cranberries. There's Swiss baked broccoli, which involves cheese and broccoli and lots of yum.
Oh, dear God.
There's another Brussels dish, because in England, Brussels are really a winter thing, and we eat a lot of Brussels over the holiday season. So there's orange pecan Brussels and cabbage. And then there's the cranberry sauce and the cranberry jelly. So the book will teach you how to make both, either the lumpy, the whole berry sauce, completely keto, or also, you know, that beautiful jelly that comes out and it's can-shaped, which the first time I saw that, I was like,
ew.
You Americans are so funny.
I know, you just cut up the can.
The first time I saw cranberry jelly in the shape of a can, I just didn't even know what to do with that. Right. So
I've even seen some people who leave it in the can shape and slice it. And they just serve it that way. Like, they don't even break that up with a spoon. They're like, no. The can shape is the aesthetic, Dora. You don't understand.
Right. So I made a jelly version for those people who prefer the slices of cranberry jelly. There's a recipe for that too. So I'm trying to keep everybody happy here.
I love it.
There's also a couple of salads. There's an avocado and walnut salad, and also a celery and cucumber salad with herbs, because I I am one of those people who I feel better when I eat some green leafy veggies. I just do. I feel better. I do better, and I actually enjoy eating them. So I included a couple of salads for people who like to get some greens in, and particularly the celery and cucumber salad is very, very crunchy, and I know that crunch is something that a lot of people on keto miss.
Nothing seems to have that, right?
And then, of course, we come to the desserts, which is, everybody thinks holidays and desserts. So here we go. There's keto versions of pumpkin pie, but I made it in squares because, and of course you don't have to, but in the book I make them in squares because if you're feeding a lot of people, it's so much easier to cut and serve if you've got a square or a rectangle and then you just cut it into a square. Nobody's fighting about the corner. Whatever. So pumpkin pie squares, there's keto pecan pie, there's keto chocolate cream tart, there's also eggnog ice cream.
Okay, I feel like this is an appropriate time to ask you to marry me. Please marry me, Miss Carrie Brown. Like, I feel like this is the time, you know? Be my keto wife. That's all I can say. That's
so
it.
Again, eggnog is not really a thing in England, but here, particularly in America, I don't know what it's like in Canada, but in America,
huge.
Oh, people go completely wild for eggnog, so I'm like, okay, I'll make eggnog ice cream and make some people happy.
Oh, yes.
So, and then there's also an orange spice ice cream, which by my estimation, it just tastes like Christmas. Oh. That's it. It just tastes like Christmas.
Christmas in a bowl.
Then there's a vanilla cranberry panna cotta. There's keto sugar cookies, and which I have on good authority because we don't have sugar cookies in England. And when I first developed the recipe, everybody was like, "These are exactly like regular sugar cookies." So take that for what it's worth.
Oh, I'm in.
And also, one of my signature pre-keto pastry chef things was my chocolate truffles. So there's also keto chocolate rum truffles in the holiday book.
Oh, dear God.
You will not be able to distinguish them from regular chocolate truffles.
Oh.
I promise you. You will not. If you had a regular one and my keto one, taste, texture, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, I definitely love you. Just saying.
Then I thought we should throw in some beverages because the holidays always have beverages. So there's eggnog. There's pomegranate ice cream tea. There's a keto Cosmo. There's a keto chai tea latte because chai is very spicy. It just kind of has that warm Christmassy feel. And then there's my creamy peppermint hot chocolate, which will knock your socks off.
Oh.
And then there's one last section, and that is what to do with all the leftover turkey. So if you did do the roast turkey, and the recipe's in the book, if you do the turkey, there's 6 ways to do exciting things with turkey afterwards. There's turkey tarragon baked eggs, so using turkey for breakfast, some of the turkey meat for breakfast. There's another breakfast one, which is a sunshine turkey scramble. There's turkey pot pie gumbo. That's probably my favourite way to use up leftover turkey. There's a roast turkey casserole. There's warm turkey and almond slaw, which literally takes 5 minutes to put together. It is a fantastically fast 5-minute keto dinner. And then there's turkey tarragon with leeks, which is another 5-minute keto dinner. So that's it. That's all the things in the holiday cookbook. If you have it and you haven't made some of those things, then you need to whip that book out and start planning. And if you don't have it, I hope you understand that there's more than just maybe a couple of recipes that you could use. I really tried to make it something that people could use
year-round.
Not just for the holidays, but also year-round, particularly, the appetizers and desserts, but also that you could actually cook your entire Thanksgiving or Christmas meal from this one book and and keep everybody happy, including all your non-keto friends and families. So that's it. That's my contribution to, I hope, thousands and thousands and thousands of very successful keto holiday periods.
Well, and that's the best way for us to share it. Make it. Bring it, share it with your family. Let them ooh and ah and wow over how amazing you are. And you just had to follow a recipe. Like, you already did the hard part for us and you figured out how to make it perfect. We just got to follow, color the dots, follow the directions. So I from the bottom of my soul and everyone watching, I say thank you. Thank you for that, because that's the really, truly hard part that we don't have to put in. So we love you and thank you. Thank you.
I honestly wish that I could just post all the recipes on my blog. But
it's too many.
It costs money to produce them and development, and so I have to pay for that somehow. But I honestly, if money were no object, if I'd have won that $949 million lottery the other night, I would have stopped selling cookbooks yesterday, and I would have posted all the recipes from all my cookbooks online so that everybody could just use them for free. If I had a choice, that's what I would do. But I've got to pay for the recipe development and all the things somehow. So I kept the price as low as I could. I hope that, so the holiday cookbook is $14.90.
Oh wow!
All my other cookbooks are under $10, and we do have the special that we were going to share with you a few weeks ago, and I messed it up because I don't remember what happened, but we had to cancel this live. So just for today, and if Dory asks me to tomorrow as well, if some of you need some more time, I have something called the Getting Started Special, and it's all 5 of my cookbooks for $33.90 US, which is a savings of, I think, 34%. So it's a big savings. You get all 5 of the cookbooks for that one price.
Yes.
You get the keto for the holidays. You get 101 keto beverages, which out of all my cookbooks was probably the one that changed my life the most, because I really, really struggle with hydrating, and because I don't like drinking water. And so that one was really life-changing for me, because there's 101 different ways to get hydrated that you will never believe they're keto. And you will never get bored either. So there's everything from lattes and teas to keto soda, and I don't even remember all the things that are in there now, but 101 beverages. There's the keto soup bowl, which is crammed full of fabulous soup recipes. All of them quick, all of them easy, all of them super keto. There's the keto crock pot, which is, as its name suggests, full of recipes that you can put in the crock pot tonight and either wake up to them, or you can put in the crock pot in the morning and have ready when you get home at night. And there's only 2 desserts in that one, because desserts isn't really what we need. But there is one called the Strawberry Surprise Crumble, and you'll need to make that because it's magical. It's a unicorn of a dessert. So, Dory.
I'm on it, girl. I'm on it.
And then there's the keto ice cream scoop, which a lot of people have heard of, because that's what I'm most famous for, is keto ice cream. So all 5 of those books in one bundle, I think it's 34% discount. It's called the Getting Started Special. Dory has the link, and it's I'm just making it available to Dory's peeps today. And if she asks me to leave it up tomorrow, I will do, because you'll miss the opportunity to take advantage of that.
Yes.
And that literally gives you over 315 really delicious, easy, fast keto recipes. And again, because they're all PDFs, you can have the entire series of cookbooks on your phone when you go to the store. You can have them on your tablet when you're cooking. There's literally 3 months, over 3 months of unique dinners.
Wow.
In that. And then the ice creams, obviously desserts, all the holiday things, and then a big book of beverages. So that, if you're new to keto, or you're stalled, or you're stuck, or you're bored of having bacon and eggs for breakfast, or, whatever, this will be a great way to get the entire bundle at a big discount.
And I would love to encourage you guys to gift this bundle. It's an amazing gift to be able to send to your friends and family over Christmas. And with it being on PDF, you can send that to them. You can have it sent to their email and they can have it. So you know what? Share the gift of health and love and delicious food this year with your friends and family, and then you don't have to do that. Have you heard the good word of keto? Because really, who doesn't want an ice cream cookbook? Like, who on your Christmas list is going to be like, I can't believe that bag. I can't believe she gave me an ice cream cookbook. The nerve of her. The nerve. Everyone will love it.
So other tips, actually, for the holidays, if you are not the one hosting and you're faced with going to another event,
yes,
there's some things you can do to help you stay keto. One of the big things you can do is you can eat some protein and some fat to fill you up, to keep you satiated before you go. And that's probably better for the kind of the work things where people are not tracking if you're eating there or not. Whereas some of the family gatherings, or if you're going for Thanksgiving dinner, then obviously you can't go full because you're there to eat. So, yes. But for things like work parties and things like that, you can, if you eat some protein and some fat so that you're at least semi-satiated before you get there, then it's going to be much more difficult for you to be kind of giving the desserts the side eye, or because you're simply not going to be hungry. So that will make it a lot easier for you to survive parties if you're already don't need to eat. And then, of course, just avoid the desserts and stick with the cold cuts, the deli meats, the cheeses. Some of the fresh veggies are going to be good. These veggie plates often have peppers cut up. They'll have maybe raw cauliflower and broccoli. All of those things are good. And a few tomatoes isn't going to kill you.
No.
So stick with those things. Olives are excellent. If there's some guacamole there, just avoid the chips and maybe use the veggies as your dip transporter for the guac instead of the crackers. Just think about that. But I would encourage you to eat somewhat before you go, so that you're not faced with being starving, hungry, and ending up just eating anything because it's there.
Yes.
If you're going to a family gathering, I would absolutely recommend that you participate in that. You take something, you find out what you can take, or if you get the choice, choose a dish that is substantial, so that if there really is not anything else you can eat, you can actually get fed on your own food. At least enough.
Yes.
Although, of course, if you're going to a traditional turkey dinner, you can at least eat
the turkey. Right?
So
you'll always get the turkey.
That to whatever dish you took, then you're probably going to be okay.
Yes.
And you might want to make a keto dessert so that you're not, Billy no mates at the dessert table. Like, I don't know, maybe make up a batch of the chocolate rum truffles and take those, so that you feel like you're partaking in dessert, even though you're not having any of the things that your family and friends are. So what are your top tips story for surviving the holidays?
I'm the crazy lady who always has food in her purse. I always have something. A couple weeks ago, I was invited to a birthday party local radio station put on. And I knew there's likely some things I can eat there. You know, there's usually a salad or some sort of meat. But I didn't want to be caught unprepared. So in my purse, I put some pepperoni chips. I put a little bit of beef jerky. And I put some pork rinds. And nobody thinks anything of it. They giggle when I pull out my snacks. And they say, "Oh, Dory, I would expect no less. I would expect no less than for you to have your own snacks." So I always have something. Like if I'm going to the grocery store, even if it's just a bag of mixed nuts. Because
I was just going to say nuts. I completely forgot nuts. Nuts, you'll often find little bowls of nuts. If you're not inflamed by peanuts, if you can do peanuts, you'll probably find peanuts aplenty. So that's, one of the better choices.
Yes.
But nuts generally, just beware of, especially around the holidays, a lot of nuts are coated in, honey, cashews or whatever. So just beware of those. There is actually on my blog, which is carriebrown.com, there is a spiced cashew recipe. So you could make your own holiday cashews and take a bag of those with you in your pocket, and then you're not feeling like you're just eating plain cashews. You're actually, having something with a bit more flavor.
Yes.
And then obviously just watch how many cashews you eat, because they are on the nut continuum. They are down the carbier end.
Yes.
Or you could simply do that recipe with almonds instead. If you wanted a lower carb option. Depends where you are in your journey. Nuts is a good option too, and they're particularly portable as well. So what else, Dory? What else do you do?
One of the things I bring to parties quite often, and maybe it's a Canadian-American thing, jellied salads. Everybody does the jellos. So I do my sugar-free, and I'll usually do a dairy-free, and I bring that. And I'll make things like pepperoni chips, and I'll bring those to the party. And my food is always gone first. The last time I brought a tray of cookies, a platter of meat chips, and 2 jellos, and they were gone. There was still potato chips. There was still junk food everywhere, and my food was gone. So I always make sure I bring lots when I bring, or I don't get.
So I also have to touch Jello salad. Oh my goodness me! I'd never seen Jello salad until I came to America.
We're weird.
And my first American Thanksgiving, I'm sitting there and I got turkey and cranberry sauce, and of course this was a long time ago, so pre-keto, and I got my mashed potato, my gravy, and then everyone's putting like Jello salad on the plate with the gravy, and I'm like, what are you people doing?
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
My mom used to make one with carrot and onions and lime jello. As bizarre as that, I have no idea. And everybody was over it all the time. And it tastes good. I don't understand.
I actually did have Christmas in Canada. How long? It must be like 9 or 10 years ago now. I was in Canada. And there was the lime, and it had carrots.
Yes.
It was kind of vinegary, so it was but it had the lime green jello, and it had vegetables in it, and actually, I secretly really liked that one.
Oh!
I could have the recipe for that, but the sweet jello with the mash and the gravy, I'm like,
no.
Make it stop.
I love it when other people are horrified by the things that we eat. And we're like, what are you talking about? Everybody eats that. We eat weird things. I will admit to that. What's the weirdest thing you guys eat in England? Because I know people like to rag on English food as being very boring and very bland and being things like, sheep's stomach.
So if you're one of those people that thinks English food is boring, sadly you just ate in all the wrong places when you were there.
Good.
Because it's not boring. And I really miss, if there's not a lot I miss And of course, there's a lot of English influence in my cooking because that's where I grew up and that's what I learned. And I promise you, none of my recipes that I put out in cookbooks or on my blog are bland or boring.
I've never tried anything of yours that wasn't, like, literally off the charts amazing.
So,
like,
weird, but actually, the stuff we do for Christmas, we don't have Thanksgiving, but we do have Christmas, and one of the things that absolutely cannot ever be keto-fied is our main dessert. Well, actually, several of our desserts, which is Christmas pudding, which is basically dried fruit and wheat flour and sugar and lard, and it is the best thing ever. But there's nothing that you can replace the dried fruit with. So Christmas pudding, so good, but can't have that anymore. We also like to tip brandy over them, set fire to them, because that's how we liven things up over there. Yes. And then mince pies, and of course mince pies are it's not hamburger. No. It's a sweet dried fruit concoction which we put into sweet pastry cases, so pie pastry. We put this dried fruit sugary concoction in it, and we put pastry over the top, and then we bake them. And they're possibly one of my mother used to make the best mince pies, and I really, really, really miss them. But I can't. There's nothing about that recipe I can eat now because I can't. I'm genetically intolerant to gluten, so I can't have gluten. Even if I wasn't keto, I couldn't have gluten. But yeah, mince pies, I really miss mince pies. But I know a lot of Americans think that fruitcake and Christmas pudding and mince pies are really, really, really weird. Fruitcake
is the one thing that everyone around here hates and I love. Like, everybody's like, oh, who brought the fruitcake? And I'm like, give me the fruitcake! It's terrible.
I love fruitcake. My mother used to make the best fruitcake. But of course, that's something I'll never eat again because, but also because dried fruit, there is nothing good there. Dried fruit for in the low carb keto world. So that's maybe it's a good job I'm living here now because I've managed to keto-fy all the American holiday desserts, but I can't keto-fy the English ones.
I think somehow even if you were to candy, radish and zucchini, it just would not be the same. It just wouldn't be the same, Carrie.
Yeah. Oh, there's Brenda. There's another one of my friends. Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Brenda.
I don't know how all these people are finding me, but there's Brenda. Brenda lives in Portland.
Oh, yay.
Brenda's lovely. Brenda and her husband Aaron, and they have a little girl called Chloe who makes me laugh on Facebook.
I love kids, I swear. They're my purest joy. Like, when my little kid fans message me, they're 2 or they're 3, and they love me because I'm a mermaid. So, a mermaid, unicorn, I'm down. We laugh, we giggle, we exchange pictures. I make them recipes.
Brenda and Aaron, they had followed me for a long time, and they knew that I was road tripping in Oregon. I shoot landscape photography, and I was off on a shooting trip. And they asked me if they could have breakfast with me, so I drove to Portland, and we had breakfast together, and we've been friends ever since. So I remember, and I don't remember the name of where we ate, but boy howdy, that food was good.
Isn't it amazing when you get to meet the people who follow you? It's happened to me, and I'm like, oh my God, my best friend, she drove down for 4 hours. Her husband had an appointment in the city closest to me, and we met and we hung out for, 3 or 4 hours together, and you can't replace that experience with anything else. You really
it's
can't.
My favorite thing and I just, I don't know, I think I just drove down to Tampa, Florida. I just got back. I went to hang out with Danny Vega.
Oh, I love
and
them.
His wife Mara Vega and their boys, the Fat Fuel family. We had a bunch of projects that we're working on, and so I drove down to Tampa and I stayed with them, and we did work for 5 or 6 days, and we held a meetup in Tampa. And we told everybody, hey, if you're near Tampa or you're in Florida or whatever, come and hang out with us. And we rented one of the shelters at the local park, and we had the best. Peak Yougart sent us a case of yogurt. Pederson's farm sent us 10 different types of their bacon, their sausage, all the things. Laura's Lean sent us enough ground beef to make patties. I made hamburger patties for everybody. And the cheese, forgetting then, start with B. Bunker Hill Cheese sent us an unbelievable amount of their raw cheese, pre-sliced for the burgers. So Bunker Hill sent us a bunch of stuff. There was a company local to Tampa who make like keto muffins and cookies and pound cake, and they're called... I'll send you the name afterwards because it's escaping me right now, so you can add it to this. Yes. But we had them, and then I'm forgetting somebody. Who else am I forgetting? Tacticalories sent us a bunch of spice blends to put in the hamburger, and Stevia Sweet BBQ sauce sent us a case of barbecue sauce. And so we had this pavilion in the park, and we packed up Danny Vega's enormous Traeger grill. We put it on the back of a pickup, and we drove it to the park with a generator. And I made Danny put an apron on, and he cooked burgers and Pederson sausage and all the things for everybody. And we ate peak yogurt, and we had this massive picnic in the park in Tampa.
I love it.
A lot of people came, and it was the best. It was the best thing. Meeting people that you've met online, or meeting people that follow you, that they have questions for you, or they just want to have your picture taken or whatever. We had the best time, and there were so many people who said, this was the only picnic I've ever been to where I could eat absolutely everything, and I didn't have to. Some of them made, they just turned up with some cauliflower salads, and one of them made my celery and cucumber salad and brought sides, and other people just turned up with cases of bottled water, and we just had a really, really, really good time. So... And on the drive down, because it took me, I'm in Connecticut, so it took me 2 days to drive down, 2 days to drive back, and hang on, is that better? Yep. So it took me 2 days to drive down and 2 days to drive back, and I stopped and met, and I told people, okay, this is my route. If you're anywhere on this route, you want to have coffee with me, tell me now. And so I stopped at various points all the way down and all the way back, and stopped and had coffee with a bunch of really, really cool people. Some of my admins from my Facebook group who I met in person, which was super cool because they just happened to live on the route. That was super, super cool. It's just my favorite thing. I just love meeting people, and particularly all you folks who are doing everything you can to live a better life and to get healthier and to get off the medications and to be there for your grandkids or your kids or your spouse or whatever. You people are really inspiring, and I just love when I leave my hermity house and I go out on the road. I just love to hear your stories and see how far you've come and help you celebrate and just, have a cup of BPC and a hug. That's my favorite thing. So I just spent 9 days driving to Tampa and back, and it was awesome. And also a great big shout out, of course, to Danny Vega and Maura Vega for being such amazing hosts and helping me with the projects that we're working on. Danny killed me at the gym.
I saw that.
And then Maura killed me at a home workout, and then Danny killed me on the rower, and the boys, of course, Desmond and Dina, are adorable. So we had them. It was a really productive time, but it was also a really great time.
Yes. So we have Facebook, Instagram's telling me 20 seconds left before it kicks us out.
All right.
So I'm going to say Thank you, and we love you, because if we get kicked out, it won't save. So I'm going to post all the links for you guys, and I'll post something on Instagram so you guys don't miss out on the deal. We love you. Thank you so much, Carrie. Bye. There we go. We'll end that way we don't get kicked out. Yay!